Okay, once again, you're most welcome, my viewers, to this YouTube channel. This is Elisa, your math guy. So today we are going to look at trigonometry, and in this video we are going to look at double angles. So we are going to use this question, and it says solve the following equations for the values of theta from 0 degrees to 360 degrees inclusive, which in other words means this. So in our part A, we are given that 3 cot 2 theta plus cot theta is equal to 1. And in this regression, we are having a double angle. Yet here it is just a single angle. It is just a theta. So what we need to know is that we need to at least change this to also a single angle. Say that we have at least some trig ratios to one angle, just a theta. So what I will do, I will call this 3, and I know what is 1 over tan 2 theta plus this other quote, it is also 1 over tan theta equal to 1. And after that, I will recall that from tan 2 theta being equal to tan theta all over 1 minus tan squared theta. That means the 1 over this, 1 over tan 2 theta is the reciprocal of this. So from this I write 3 into now 1 minus tan squared theta all over 2 tan theta plus 1 all over tan theta equal to 1. Now from this very step, I can let my tan theta to be equal to any other letter or variable. So let me say x. So, and be very careful, don't let tan theta to be equal to theta. You should use some other different letter. Now our problem becomes 3 into 1 minus x squared all over 2x plus 1 all over x equal to 1. So we can multiply all through by 2x as it is the LCM of this and this and this. So we multiply through by 2x. And multiplying it here, it cancels with this 2x. So it remains with 3 into 1 minus x squared plus, when we multiply here by 2x, we remain with a 2 equal to a 2x. And finally we simplify. This becomes 3 minus 3h squared plus 2 minus 2x equal to 0. Finally, this becomes a negative 3x squared minus 2x and plus 5, which is equal to 0. Now we can solve this quadratic equation and get the two possible values of x. So you can multiply it by negative 1 to make the coefficient of x squared positive, which is equal to 0. If we can get factors, that is better, and it makes our life easy. So we can look at this as look at the 2x as a positive 5x minus 3x minus 5. So we are looking at the 2x as a 5x minus 3x equal to 0. We pull out now our x, remaining with 3x plus 5. We also pull out here now a negative 1, remain with the 3x plus 5 equal to 0. And from there, now we see that the 3x plus 5 is common. So we pull it out, remain with x minus 1 equal to 0. So from this, either this is 0 or this is 0. And from that, you will do the steps there. You will get the two possible values of x. get the two possible values of x, and the other one x equal to 1. And from this, you will have to remember that but x is tan theta. So x is tan theta. So for this one, for our x, which is tan theta, being equal to a -5/3, from this one you will get your principal angle, which is tan inverse over the positive quantity 5/3. So this will get us a 59.04 degrees. Which angle we shall use by asking ourselves in which quadrant is tan over an angle negative. It is at this point that the effect of this negative is recognized or used. So, in which quadrant is tan negative? You can use these words to remember. All students take chemistry. So here all three ratios are positive, here tan is positive. So tan is negative in the second and fourth quadrants. So here we have our principal angle. So given that we are looking for positive angles between 0 and 360 degrees inclusive, this is our first solution, and the second solution is this one. So from this we shall get our theta as this would be 180, but now 180 the principal angle off. So by that you can get 180 and take off 59.04. So we get 120.96 degrees, comma. The other one would be a 360, but the principal angle is off. So still we say 360 minus the principal angle. This gives us 300.96 degrees. But we should not forget that these are not our solutions. We should also come and ask ourselves, what about 4 tan theta being equal to 1? Because tan theta is x, which x is 1. So still from this we get our principal angle, which is tan inverse of 1. So we get this is a 45 degrees. So we still ask ourselves in which quadrant is tan over an angle positive. This one and this one. So 45 degrees. So from our 0 degrees, this is 45 as our theta, and also this angle, which is 180 plus 45. Leave that will be 225 degrees. And so from that you will conclude finally that therefore our theta is the collection of these solutions written in a given order. Let us use ascending. So we start with this one, followed by 120.96, followed by 225, and 300.96. So these are our solutions. Okay, so this is our part B under the same question. So when you look at this, it is kind of familiar to the first part, and directly attacking it, we shall write this as 4 tan theta. Now we shall write the tan 2 theta as 2 tan theta, all over 1 minus tan squared theta, all equal to a 1. Now at this very point, you can let your any letter you want to be tan theta. And so this will become 4y into 2y over 1 minus y squared, or equal to 1. And from this will become the 4y, will multiply the 2y, so you will get 8y squared over 1 minus y squared equal to 1 over 1, which we can cross multiply to get us 8y squared equal to 1 minus y squared. Taking this negative y squared to the left gets us this equal to 1, which finally becomes a 9y squared equal to 1, y squared equal to 1 all over 9. So we take square roots. It is better me to rewrite this step. And at the very stage of writing or introducing square roots, I should indicate a plus or negative, plus or minus. That is why now our y becomes plus or negative a third. It is after this is being distributed that now we are sure it is this. So therefore our y is either a positive a third or either all our y is a negative a third. So from these two values you will get to remember that your y was tan theta, and you will continue solving the question in the same way as we did in part A. You will have to continue this and tell me what you're getting as your values or angles theta. Now this is our part C, and for it we shall realize that we are having a double angle here, and these ones are having a single angle, so just theta. So we shall have to change this into a 2 sin theta, cos theta, and the cos theta is still there, plus the sine square theta equal to 1. So at this point, the cos theta will multiply with the cos theta. So this will give me 2 sin theta, and then cos square theta plus sine square theta is equal to 1. And at this stage, I can realize that I can change the cos square theta in terms of sine of the same angle. So from cos square theta plus sine square theta equal to 1, this is an identity. We know that cos square theta is always equal to 1 minus sine square theta. That means I will write this as 2 sin theta in 2. Instead of cos square theta, I will write 1 minus sine square theta plus sine square theta equal to 1. Even before simplifying at this very stage, I can let sine theta to be any letter, to be A. Thus now my equation becomes 2m into 1 minus m squared plus m squared equal to 1. And now this becomes the when we look at it, it is a cubic equation. It is a cubic equation. It is a cubic equation. When you expand, when we try expanding, we shall end up with a cubic equation. But I can use a certain trick. I can maintain this 2m and the 1 minus m squared, and then bring this one and bring this one, because I'm saying an idea of getting similar brackets. So this one, I fix it to this one. This is equal to 0. And now when we look at these brackets, we can 1 minus 1 squared, we can make this bracket similar to this one by putting out a negative 1. So it becomes 1 minus m squared equal to 0. And finally, these two brackets are seen to be similar. So we can factorize out that bracket, this bracket, so we remain with 2m minus 1 equal to 0. And finally, I can say that either 1 minus m squared is equal to 0 or 2m minus 1 is equal to 0. So this is the difference of two squares, 1 plus m to 1 minus m is equal to 0. So from this very one, we can see that 1 plus m, it is either this one is 0 or this one it is 0, either communicate. So from this one, we can just repeat the same statement to communicate it well. So either m is equal to negative 1 or m is equal to a positive 1. But we shouldn't forget also this one. These two m values are just from this one. So from this one, we can also get our m. Same time, we can get our m as half. So we are having these 3 m values and we should use them to get our value of theta. Remembering that m is sin theta. So let us just use one. So you will have to say that for sin theta, but a is sin theta. So for sin theta being equal to negative 1, we can get our principal angle here. I sin up over 1, and this will give us 9 degrees. If you use your calculator, you can confirm that. So after getting that as our principal angle, we can draw these quadrants. Of course, this side of an angle is negative, so asking ourselves which quadrants is side negative. It is this and this. But of course, drawing our angle 90 in this quadrant from the horizontal takes it to this line. But we can continue with our interpretation that this is our 90 and this is our 90. For us not to confuse ourselves. Though this angle 90, it is actually at this point and this one at this point, but we can continue with the same interpretation. So from this, our theta becomes this angle, which is 270 degrees, and this one, which is still 270. So you don't repeat it, just leave it there. Now you also continue for sine of an angle being equal to 1. You get values of theta. You also do for sine of an angle being equal to a half. You also get values in here. And finally conclude writing the 3 solutions you're having. The 3 groups of solutions you're having in ascending order. Thank you for watching this video. Let me wait for you in our second video.